2 years ago, we were wrapping up Care-aoke 2020, and none of us knew that the world was about to shut down just a few days later. Everyone, businesses, families, everyone had to pivot and figure out what do we do during this time, and Community Renewal was no different. But we didn't stop what we were doing. We continued, we shifted and changed just like everybody else and continued to do the good work in our community. We opened a new friendship house in the fall of 2020 with a partnership with the Absentee Shawnee Housing Authority. Out of that house, we started a young women's group, I Am Enough. We launched our Elevate program to work with kids who are chronically absent, and our block leaders. It didn't slow them down one bit. In fact, they doubled their activity to work to take care of their neighbors.
Especially at the beginning of COVID, one of the big changes you saw was, I'm going to Walmart, do you need anything? So there was a lot of that kind of stuff to limit the trips. Still lots of interaction going on, but it was at more of a distance.
I think it's more phone calls than personal interaction over the past couple of years. You know, now that things have lightened up a little bit, I know we've increased our walks. You know, we have different families come out each week.
Where do I see hope in Shawnee? Shawnee is also a community that's got very definite geographic and demographic divides in it. Yet we've got leadership, we've got people that want to overcome that want to have these groups meet together. And I think one of the good things we're seeing is that some of those opportunities are not, I'm gonna go into your neighborhood and do something for you or whatever. It's, let's all meet on Main Street and do something, or let's meet on Bell Street and do something. It's sort of this, we're all gonna come together in one place to do things.
Our Elevate program got started with a chance meeting that Brandon Dyer had with the grant manager for the Paul Milburn Trust. And Paul Milburn had left some money behind. Since we were doing good work in the schools already, she thought that maybe we were the right team to come up with a program to combat, chronic absenteeism in our schools. We brought Dr. Teresa Wilkerson in and Megan Wilson. What Dr. Wilkerson really stressed was getting them outside the school, showing them a pathway to a future, and utilizing our social capital that we have around town to show the kids that there's a whole community that loves them and wants to see them succeed, and that they can be successful if they'll come to school and if they'll graduate.
During our pilot year, I was given 7 girls to love on, and the main thing that we wanted every student to know and every girl to know is that there is a pathway to their goal. Whatever the pathway is, whatever their goal is, we want them to be able to find it. Through the relationships, we've seen decreased suspension. We've seen kids being able to use their coping skills, not hanging out in the bathroom and having panic attacks and things like that. They're able to actually attend school and get something out of it. We've seen increased attendance. We've seen passing grades, and whenever they don't make the passing grades, they're able to use their voice and ask for help. And we're able to get them the tutors that they need. The hope that their future can be better than their past is very freeing for them.
The group I started is called I Am Enough. Before I started the group, I was at home a lot and I just didn't really have anybody to talk to, and I felt very alone and just upset all the time. And then something happened and I had to go into the hospital for a few days, and I learned how to share what was going on and how to be open about how I was feeling. And I felt that a lot of people are probably going through the same thing that I am. And we kind of do activities where they can open up and they can let some of that frustration and anxiety and sadness out. I figured that there needed to be somewhere that teens could go to open up and share about what they're going through too.
If the pandemic taught us anything, it's that we cannot take relationships for granted. We need relationships in our life. We need healthy relationships in our life. And because of amazing folks in our community, we were able to continue our work, as you've seen. But there's still more work that needs to be done. So tonight we're asking, would you please consider helping this work? Would you please consider giving to the amazing people of this community through the work of Community Renewal? so that we may all have a city that we are proud to call home.